Hi, I'm Willie. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And what we're going to take a look at in this video is we're going to do a few different speed tests through our new GCC router from Grandstream. Also, if you want to take a peek under the hood, if you want me to open this up so we can see how this little box that weighs like 4 pounds does all the things that it does, let me know. We'll take the screws off. We'll take a look. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see that. Now, we're going to do several different speed tests. So right now, the only thing I've done with this GCC is what you saw me do. So it's got the default subnet, which it's an adaptive subnet. It happened to pick 80.1. Probably if you're not using 80, it's going to default to that most of the time, I would guess. But when we look at like our network settings, like our network acceleration by default, it's that hardware acceleration that is turned on. And so we are going to run some speed tests to my in-house speed test. I was messing around with this a little bit. I'll refresh this. Now, just to assure you that I am not on the same subnet, I'm going to do a trace route over to that, and you're going to see that I have to pass through so you have to pass through 80.1, and then over here, once we hit start, it should show the WAN IP of the GCC. So this is the first stock speed test. So we've kind of got a out of the box. This is how it looks. So right now we're over 900 megabits a second. Oop, now we're dipping under. And what's our upload going to be? It's almost at a full 1,000 megabits a second. And you can see right here, it shows this is the GCC WAN IP 66.33. Okay, so that was with network acceleration as hardware acceleration. Now we're going to turn it on and we're going to do firewall acceleration. So it's accelerates only IDS, IPS, and app traffic authorized by the firewall. We'll use dedicated hardware acceleration. Once enabled, QoS and rate limit will not take effect. So this has got some sort of offloading hardware in it. We're going to go ahead and enable that and save it. We will go ahead and refresh this and start our new test. So this is with the firewall stuff turned on. So you can see we're cruising in at like 828 download. And what's our upload going to be? Well, it was way over 1,000 to begin with. It's going to level off here, somewhere around 1,000. And then we're going to go ahead and disable it, and we'll see what happens. Make sure I save that. So we'll refresh that, and let's see where we're at here. So now we are at 829 down, and we are at 898 up. Now, I will say, I've got a few things going on the computer, right? So there's some impact that's happening there to the speed test. And that speed test is a VM that's running in the 192.168.66 network. So we're just going to use these numbers as our building blocks here, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn on hardware acceleration. I'll turn that back on. We're not going to do QoS or anything at the moment, so we're just strictly looking at the speed test. So then what we're going to do is we're going to turn on app traffic statistics. So it's going to collect information about the different traffic that we're sending out. So it could be the computer reaching out to Windows for Microsoft or to Microsoft for Windows updates. It could be HP updates. This is an HP machine. We're going to go ahead and refresh this. We'll go ahead and run this now. This is with the app or DPI enabled with our hardware acceleration turned on. And our upload still pretty strong. Now, also, me or anyone else that you see, where we do one machine behind these devices and we do the speed test that way, it's not really a fair speed test, right? Because oftentimes there's maybe only one or two devices doing this speed test. So it may not be an accurate test of what you could expect with a fully loaded network. I'm I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to create a bunch of virtual machines to a 10 gig port on a switch, and kind of slice up that 10 gigs and see if I can actually like max a port with a bunch of, so, remember that the scripts that I wrote that automatically do that? Well, I'm thinking about putting a bunch of Linux machines on there and then just launching those scripts and just letting all that traffic, because then that's going to show us how the firewall really handles the load of multiple clients, not just one. So I recognize that that is a limitation, and I hope everyone else that are doing these speed tests for you also recognize that. All right, so we are going to get into a whole video on configuring this firewall, but the first thing that we want to do is we're going to come in here and let's see. Well, we've already got malware enabled. We didn't, so let me turn that off real quick and let me refresh this and rerun that. I forgot that was turned on. So we'll see how much of a difference that makes. So now you can see the download speed is consistently over 1,000 megabits a second. So we're almost hitting. We almost hit over a gigabit there. Okay, well I forgot all about that. What else do we already have turned on? So we do have we do have IDS IPS. We must have turned. It's coming back to me now. I turned a bunch of this stuff on. So what we're going to do is we're going to do no action, and we're going to save that. So we just disabled IDS IPS. We'll refresh this. So now this is with like none of the protection stuff running, right? And before I had anti-malware turned on. I had IDS doing notify. So now you can see we're over the 1,000 megabits there. What else did I have turned on here? No action. Let's see. Did I have denial? I didn't have DDoS. Didn't have spoofing. Let's see. Did we have content control turn on? We did not have web filtering or any of that, because we've got to get into some some advanced configuration on this. Okay, so this is running the PBX. It is running the network node manager with the switch and the AP and all that good stuff. It's got the firewall. So let's go back real quick and let's go to our network settings and our network acceleration. And let's disable that network acceleration now and see what kind of speed tests we get. So we'll see where we're at. So we're over that. So it got, when we disabled it there, it did get a little. I'm over here like rooting, like get it. But so that's there. All right, let's turn the firewall acceleration on. So we'll save that. We'll refresh this. And we'll start it. So definitely when we're offloading to the, I believe I think, somebody correct me in Grandstream if you're watching this, or anybody else who knows, there must be some sort of hardware offload going on in this box. So I think we're definitely going to have to crack it open. And then here's one more test. And so this is with hardware accelerate, or is that hardware acceleration? I think it is. So this thing's doing NAT. It's doing firewalling and all that, and we are getting these speeds directly to our speed test server in-house. So now let's go back and we'll do this one more time just to make sure. So we're going to leave that there, but we're going to come back in here and we'll turn on DOS. We'll just turn on all the things here. Port scan detection, block IPs, block Smurf, boy, ping of death. Like, is anybody still susceptible to ping of death? I don't know. Fraggle attack. We're going to block all the things. Spoofing defense, we'll enable that. We'll block that. Block ARP. So this thing's going to be on high alert. Now, the only thing we're not going to turn on is we are not going to turn on the SSL inspection yet. That's a whole video that's coming here in the next couple days, just on that, and multiple ways to deploy it. So we're going to do notify and block. We're going to do extremely high. We're going to block botnets, and we are not doing anything yet. Well, we could turn on web filtering, but it's not going to. We'll turn on application. We'll come back and turn that AI on after we do these other speed tests. DNS filtering. Yeah, we're not going to do that because we have to go in and specify. Let's see, categories. I'm not doing HTTPS, so we're not going to be surfing those naughty names on here. But I am going to turn the web filtering on. We'll do more speed tests once we have the SSL inspection going. Application filtering. We'll come back and we'll turn this AI recognition on. But let's see where we got now. So we're going to go ahead and refresh this. Now this is with all the things turned on except SSL inspection. So our download is a respectable 615 megabits. And our upload is going to be 828 megabits. Now let's see what happens when we turn on this. Well, before we do that, before we turn on the AI recognition, let's go back over here, go to our network acceleration. Now let's click on firewall acceleration. Yep, we know. So we'll go ahead and save that. All right, let's redo our test. Now this is with the firewall acceleration, not the hardware acceleration. So with the firewall acceleration turned on, we are about a, I have to go back and look where we're at, but I think we're faster than that. And a respectable 910 meg upload. You can remember this is a $199 device that can do all of these things. They do have bigger models on the way, which I'm really excited about. And then let's disable the network acceleration. And let's start our test again. And you'll notice how snappy it is. The interface is very, very snappy. It's almost instant. And so with no acceleration turned on, but with all of these protections turned on, we're at 861.61 megabits, which I think is pretty darn good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take that one step farther. We are going to go to, where was that at? Oh, y'all let me forget my place. Here we go. App filtering. We're going to turn on AI recognition. And it tells us right here that if we do this, it's going to get, it's going to use some CPU and memory. No doubt about it. Okay. So right now we have no offload or acceleration enabled. So we're going to go ahead and refresh this. And this is what we're getting, even now with the AI classification turned on. But acceleration disabled. And see, with one machine behind this, we may not be able to take advantage of the acceleration. So, like I said, this is kind of a vacuum, not a perfect setup, but it's a single machine being able to suck all the bandwidth by itself, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So we're going to go back over here, and we're going to go back to our network acceleration. We're going to turn on that firewall acceleration. Firewall acceleration only IDS, IPS, and app traffic authorized by the firewall will use dedicated hardware acceleration, which once again tells me that there's some hardware, special hardware that's taking care of that. So with the firewall acceleration turned on, but remember, this may not be doing IDS, IPS. There's some variabilities to this, and so if you have been running this because these boxes have been available, let me know what your results are. for your testing down below. You are going to get to see this actually replace my UDR and take over my entire network here as soon as we get everything configured. All right, so this is with hardware acceleration enabled. We'll refresh that and start. And we're bouncing that between that 750 and that 802. And then our upload always seems to be much better. I'm not 100% sure why that is. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't have to do so many things. But, all right, so we did all that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to tear all the things down again real quick. And because I'm going to do an entire video just on the firewall and what all these things are, what they mean. So let's turn all of this off temporarily. Oh, let's see. Look at this, 21 scanned files, 0 viruses. And it was able to scan it because it's transferring it from here. It was able to scan it because it's not HTTPS. But the one thing that I wanted to do real quick is, yeah, it's not seeing any apps because I'm not out surfing the internet. So we'll have to think about that. But let me go turn the rest of this stuff back off temporarily because we'll like I said, whole video on this coming. No IDS, IPS, no action. And if you haven't noticed, I've been talking a lot about cyber liability insurance and the things that are coming. And if you haven't seen them now, you will if you're a business owner. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we'll rerun our speed test. And this, I think this is with no acceleration. Hold on, we'll check on that in just a second. And so 1005 megabits download, 990 upload, and no, that was with hardware acceleration, but we turned off all the things, remember? So let's do the firewall acceleration. And some of this may not even be making a hill of beans difference, depending on what the firewall is doing. So here you can see we're over that 1,000 megabits a second on the download. I don't know. It's like we primed the hardware. I don't remember seeing these. It's like we got it all amped up and ready to rock and roll because I don't remember seeing these high numbers before. And then this is with no network acceleration. So we'll see where we're at here. And we're that top end of 900, bordering over 1,000 megabits a second. And upload is good. So a few people were curious, like what's the throughput on this? What's the real traffic? This is the best way at the moment until I take this and put it at the head end of my network. Now, I do have gigabit internet download, but I only have 40 to 50 megabits upload. I don't have a symmetrical connection. So when I film that, we're definitely going to be concentrating on the download and not the upload because this thing can max the upload at what, 20% or 10% capacity or less. So I'm really excited about this device for the price point, for what it can do. We're still waiting to find out what the subscription is going to cost after the first year, but I just can't imagine it being crazy, right? Because the device itself is $199, but I'm not even going to say out loud because I don't want to put it out there into existence what I would pay yearly, especially if I'm dealing with insurance companies and I have to have assurance and things like that. It's nice that we have vendors who are doing this for free, But it adds another level to it when you have a vendor that you're paying, because now there's some more accountability on that vendor and not just with you, right? That vendor is now sharing some responsibilities because you are paying for a service. So if you want to see inside this guy, let me know. We'll see what we can do about that. If you've got any questions about the speed test, give me your results down below, what you're looking at. And then once we get this swapped out and we get it configured, once we get it, I don't know how many devices we've even got here, 60, 70 devices or something like that are going to be passing through it. It'll be interesting to see really how it reacts. So if you've got other things that you want to see when it comes to speed and load, let me know down in the comments. If you've been testing the device, let me know your results down in the comments. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, comment, share. Follow me on Twitter and TikTok. Those links are down below, along with affiliate links, a Patreon link. And if you need IT consulting, anything from security to networking to voice over IP to storage, head on over to williehowe.com, fill out that contact form that's on the front page, and somebody will be with you as soon as possible. Also, come on over to community.williehowe.com, sign up, share your knowledge, ask your questions. We're building a great team of people over there that can help each other out. So come on over and join us. Once again, I'm Willie. I am still super excited about the GCC series and what's in store for Grandstream in the future. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.